Hey guys, thanks for tuning back in to another video at Happy RC Flyer. Don't forget to subscribe, it helps grow the hobby. It's pretty windy out today. Just want to do a quick unboxing of the ZOHD Drift. Just picked this up, ordered it from Get FPV, and not quite a couple weeks. I think they said there was an issue with their system. For some reason they didn't get it shipped out right away, but it's been just about 2 weeks ago that I ordered this, and wanted to show you how it comes in a nice little compact box and do a quick unboxing. This Ziploc bag is supposed to be inside there, but I've had it open already and started setting it up. As you'll see, got a nice little handle to carry it in. Comes in all these little bubble wraps, and of course this Ziploc bag is supposed to be in there. We have the body, and I have already installed the propeller, so I'll show you that. Oops. And we have the tail boom. Looks like this bubble wrap is going to try to blow away. We have the tail boom and rudder. Guess it comes out of this side. It's got the servo rod inside and the quick disconnect turn collar. Here's the elevator. Very cute, very thin. My hope was to find a nice lightweight FPV flyer, shooting for that sub 250. There's the right wing panel. Here's the left wing panel. Oops, getting it backwards there. And then of course this comes with some decals and a propeller. I think this is a 5.5 propeller, and this also comes with an extra thumb screw. And this is just a little cover for the top of this. When you put a GPS in that top panel, then it has a little black plastic cover that goes over top of that to cover it, kind of give the finishing touch. So very cool. Pretty excited about this little plane. One thing I like about it is the fact that it comes apart even after you have it set up, and it's very compact, as you can see, and fits back in that box. So we'll get started here. I think the easiest way to start off is inserting the tail boom. You'll see I have an antenna for my receiver sticking out of this one, but your elevator servo is tucked up underneath. I did have to drill this hole out to get this servo rod to connect into it, to drill it out with a little tiny drill bit, but then you have your little ESC tucked right in there, and very nice. So there's some room to put a flight controller in there. Up here is where your GPS would go on this top panel, or a flight controller on the top, and you can see I have an AR637T receiver in there, Spectrum receiver, and I'm going to run that on my NX10 here in just a little bit. But I wanted to get some line of sight flying on it first and see how it handles, see how the CG balances out. In here I've got a lot of wires and adapters, and I'm going to be running it on 3S. I've got these 3S 1300 batteries that I had sitting around, and so for now, just flying line of sight, we're going to operate on that. Here's your little carbon spar that would normally come in the Ziploc bag, and it goes right in here for your wing spar. Magnets on everything. I like these little tabs that are easy to grab, and you don't have to dig at the foam. And this one's easy, you can put your finger in there, and a lot of good ventilation. I see a lot of air intakes. Of course, we don't have a camera in it yet, but a lot of nice air intakes and air exit slots. And this is a cute little motor and a propeller, a little 3-bladed. So evidently you're supposed to use the 3-bladed if you use 3-cell, and there's the 5.5 2-bladed if you're going to set it up on 2-cell. So anyway, I guess what got sidetracked. We're going to install this little rod here. Oops. There's the tail boom. You just stick it in there, and it's a little tight, but it fits fine. And I don't know about this antenna down the tail boom, if that's the best way, but it seemed to be a good way to get the excess antenna out of the way. It does have 2 antenna leads on it. So anyway, you just slide it in, and I believe it locks in. You can see that it kind of locks into that collar, so you can't really get it on crooked. You could get it on upside down. I don't think you'd really fly it that way, but anyway, then this is just like a little quarter turn, and then there it is, it's fastened in. So you push this through. This has a little quick disconnect on it. I don't know if you'll be able to see how this works with the camera. We may show it a different time, but again, I did have to drill this hole out for that to fit in there, and then this little clip clips back in over the, kind of like a clevis with a servo, or just a 90-degree bend on it. So anyway, there's that. I left the finger screw in here for the elevator, just as a place to keep it from getting lost and falling around. So this goes in with your servo, or with your control surface arm facing downward, so your rod will hook up. And then before you hook your rod up, just push it to the side a little bit, get this little screw started, and get it screwed in. You wouldn't have to take this apart. This is a fairly compact model, but I wanted to put it back in the box for transport and kind of do a quick little unboxing and first impressions on it. So I think this strikes me as looking like a little DLG glider, a discus launch glider, and I've been tinkering around with those. I wouldn't call myself very experienced on that, but I've been having a lot of fun. So there's that. So then all the tail boom and the elevator's hooked up. Of course, there's no rudder servo, so we're all hooked up back there. I'm going to go ahead and put this cover back on because we don't need to get back in here anymore. And of course, remember to take your little thumb screw out of the front, or out of the main wing thumb screw. This is what holds the main wing on, or the main wings. You'll see little servo pins, I don't know if you can see that, and the little plugs and the sockets that they plug into. So you just line up your carbon spar, and then get your slot lined up, and then the rear slot, and try to be careful and gentle with plugging in your aileron. Give it just a little bit of a wiggle. Don't push on it too hard until you know for sure it's going in. And then here we have the other side, and push it in as well. I'm just going to give it a little wiggle, and you see it fits in there really nicely, really snug. Now, I know some people have talked about how this one screw is not enough to hold it in, and it'll start to work loose and things. I would guess that's probably after doing some hard landings or crashes. This has not been flown yet, so it's looking really nice. And the finish on the foam is just, it's very impressive. Now, it does have these little injection divots, or these little injection mold, a little bit of residue, these little dots where they inject it into the mold. So at a future point, I may just sand those down, or smush them down, and I may repaint this, give this another paint job. But anyway, look at that. Isn't that cute? It looks like a little DLG. Very lightweight. I guess I could throw it on the scales and see what it weighs, but for now I just wanted to get a flight in, line of sight flying. We have this TopTes TS301 weather station, little portable weather station. We have, I guess it's blown from this way now. Let's see. So about 6. I was reading about 7 earlier. So a little bit of breeze there. Again, we have these 3S 1300 batteries. Did charge them up. I want to double check them before we go flying. 4.19, 4.2. All right. Now I have some extra adapters and stuff in here that I am not going to use once I set it up for FPV, but I wanted to get it set up just to fly at line of sight. So let's go ahead and plug this in. We'll make sure it's stationary. I do have a safe receiver in there. I'm not going to use safe, but because safe is activated, it has to be real still, real stable for the gyro. So okay, I think how I did this is I think I had this battery shoved all the way back as far as I could get it, and even at that I think it was just a tad nose heavy. push this back in there as far as we can get it. And then it has these little CG marks. You can see them right here on either side by the servo. So you just put your finger on them, hold it up like that, and it's perfectly balanced. So here we are, we're ready for flying. Okay, we are powered up. We've got it hooked up to our NX10. The ailerons are hooked up correctly, elevator's working correctly. Let's do a throttle check. A real quiet, silent motor. Looking forward to flying this thing. So put the battery hatch back on. We will take another battery with us just in case. And let's go out here and give this thing a fly. Surprised no one else is out here to fly. But more sky for me. Got some geese down there, down the runway. Might go out here in the grass, just so we'll be out here for when we want to do a grass landing. Okay. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited. Let's see. Make sure we have safe turned off. I just wanted to fly without a gyro. Just see how stable it is. I'm going to give it about half throttle, and let's send it out that way. Oh yeah, very nice. Oops, it's wanting to dip a little bit. It's real sensitive. I do have a lot of control surface on it, almost too much. Whew. Definitely need to add a little more expo. Sorry it's out there a little far, probably can't see it. I'm going to decrease the throttle. It is definitely quiet. I need up elevator. And turn it around. It is definitely touchy in the wind. We'll get it slowed down here. Probably quarter throttle, you can't even hear it. Wow. Go out by the geese. Come back this way. This is a bank and yank. I would really like to have a rudder, but beggars can't be choosers. I'm surprised how quiet it is. Oh man, I'm really excited. This is going to be a blast. This is going to be a really fun platform. Just going to do some circles. It's pretty quick. I'm impressed. Wow, the birds want to follow it. It looks so much fun. It definitely gets tossed around in the wind, but I feel like that's pretty normal. It feels a little more gusty out here than it did under the shelter. But it really cuts through the wind. Okay, I think it's time to line up for a approach. Just gonna do a flyby real low. Yeah. I feel like I'm flying it too fast. I've just been on the throttle this whole time. I'm gonna climb up a little bit. I'm gonna cut the power. Let's just see how it glides. It's power off. It is gliding really nice, but it is fast. Let's come in hot. I'm gonna flare it. Wow. Wow. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Just wanted to check the motor temperature. This is on 3S. The motor is actually kind of warm. I'm surprised. I was running a lot of throttle. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. Make sure my throttle cuts off. We'll do a throttle check. Yeah, still has plenty of throttle. Okay, here we go. Let's do this again. This is cute. My half throttle, give it a good chuck. I got it trimmed out pretty well. Now I'm going hands on. You probably can't even see it in the camera. It just, I can see it with my human eyes, but it just disappears really quick in the sky. Really looking forward to a sub 250 non-invasive FPV experience, and I really think I hit onto something. It's definitely fast. I wish I could add a speedometer on it to see what the top speed is, but of course once I throw a flight controller and things in it, then I'll be able to monitor that. Power off, just going to glide it a little bit. Wow, this glides really well. I think you could probably pick up some thermals with it. Going motor on. Wow. So the brakes are not set on the ESC. I do need to do that. I've heard some people talk about how it glides so much better with a brake set on the ESC so your propeller doesn't keep windmilling. That probably produces a lot of drag. But this thing screams. Let's see if we can get a top speed here. That's full throttle. Let's do a speed pass if we can. It's full throttle. Wow. Straight up. Not unlimited vertical, but very impressive. Power off, just gonna glide it. And I doubt you can see it. Wow, it gets up in the wind and it just glides. Still motor off. Just cruising around. Very fun. I can tell this is going to be hours of fun. Wow, can't wait to set it up with FPV. I'm sure it'd be a little bit bumpy on a day like today with FPV, but that's to be expected because it's kind of choppy out and it's a warm day. Look at that, just gliding by, kicking on the motor. Wow. Very fun, very quiet. Like right there, I'm probably half throttle. I can't even hear it. And a low power pass. Listen to it. Come back the other way. Low power. Wow. Can't even hear it. That's crazy. Definitely stealthy. Real lightweight. Doesn't look intimidating at all. Not scary to see it in the sky. Just kind of looks like a little barn swallow flying around. But I guess it's called a drift. Maybe I should try a roll. It's got good aileron authority, it seems like. Let's try a roll. Well, let's do a loop. Yeah, it loops well. Good roll rate. I love it. Okay, it's probably not very enjoyable for you to look at because the camera doesn't have very good optics on it. So let's bring it in. Gliding, gliding, gliding. Wow. Wow, how much fun is that? Very cool. Well, thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed that. Subscribe and comment, leave a comment or a question. And subscribe to see future videos of the ZOHD Drift. Thanks for watching.